Okay, good evening everyone. We're starting our lecture. Today is the shur gonna give R.Shalom, but since we did haircut the kids of our community from the boys, the Daniel and Gadaev, so the mitzvah we did that, I just gonna say a couple of words, and then R.Shalom gonna continue giving the shur about the discipline of kids, how to grow kids in the Torah way. Why I want to talk today, I will tell you why. You know, I'm getting very upset and not mad, but
frustrated,
exactly, frustrated, and sometimes I feel how's it called?
broken,
Depressed. I will say like depressed. R.Shalom can, but I will tell you why. We're getting problem with the discipline of the kids. We're getting really serious problem. Parents somehow they waking up a little late. The parents getting a little bit late to wake up by saying, well, my kids right now in public school. I cannot take them to the yeshiva, they're already too big. I cannot talk to them, they don't listen to me. And when I ask them how the modesty, at least a little bit, you know, like normal, at least. They say, no, I cannot already be in control. They wear whatever they want. They do whatever they want. It's very hard to control. Tell the truth, it looks like also in Israel like that. It looks like in Israel also like that. Not everybody, but those like a public schools, it's almost like that. And it's really scary. It's so bad that we're losing R.Shalom. We're losing the kids. You know, they getting assimilation, getting worse, getting bad, getting very terrible. We're not putting attention to what we're doing here. You know. When you grow your child until the age of 14, 15, 16, 18, you suddenly see your son or your daughter doesn't follow your way. You're gonna feel broken anyway. It's not gonna help you. You cannot do after that anything. You cannot do any changes after that. Not gonna help. It's very hard to make changes. Then if the father or the mother gonna start to be religious, which is good all the time, but it's very rarely gonna give an influence to the kids by saying, okay, my parents became Choser B'Tshuvah, they became follow the Torah, I'm gonna go right now their way. It's very hard. They're gonna say, do whatever you do, but I'm gonna be home. I know parents, they scared to speak to their kids. Do you realize on which kind of level we're getting to? They scared speak with their kids. My parents didn't never scared to speak to me. Why should they scared to speak with the kids? I not understand that. Do you realize what's going on? They scared to speak with the kids. Scared in what sense? Oh, they're gonna leave, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. Of course, if the parents gonna be busy doing money or busy that for themselves, it's very rarely the kids being in yeshiva, they're going in anyway in the Torah way. It's very rarely, not everybody. Most of them getting mixed with the different. It's bad. It's terrible. It's the biggest gainer, by the way, you should know that. Now, we have to work on that. We have to take this seriously in our case. It's a really serious matter. We cannot leave this like that simply by saying, everything will be okay. It's gonna grow, you're gonna understand. It's kind of thing. When you're gonna grow, the way you're gonna grow in public school by thinking everybody the same thing, no different, nothing happened, everybody human being, it's okay. It's very hard to change things. We're not saying they're not human beings, but there is a law. Listen, the Am Israel, all the presidents in the universe, they're saying the Jewish people, the Jewish nation, they are special. Why they are special? Because they follow the Torah they're supposed to be. That is the reason today, until today, we have the Jewish people continuously going the Torah mitzvot. Now we're seeing getting bad way. I mean, we're losing. We're saying it's important to us the education. Anything you say, education, and nothing else in their mind. Education. Like people doesn't have education, they doesn't do money. I know people who doesn't have education, they're doing very well. How come? How come? And not only that, why? In the yeshiva there's no education? I don't understand that. Why people say that? There's no education over there? Of course education there. There is very little people being in yeshiva going to colleges and they having a kind of career, whatever they're looking for everybody. A lot of I know them. What's the problem? What's the problem? What's wrong with that? Why are they always saying it's excuse, I think, in my opinion. Why? Because they don't want to pay money. You know? That's tzedakah. It's also considered tzedakah. When you pay money for yeshiva for your kids, it's considered tzedakah. They tzedakah, you know, it's like only for your child, but it's still considered tzedakah. You don't know this is which kind of mitzvah you're doing by doing that. It's almost you're buying all the Torah all to come. I don't want to take your time. Time is running, 10 o'clock already. I just want to say that please, everybody, pay attention to that. Take this seriously. Speak with your friends, speak with your families, wherever there is. Work on that. The kids not allowed to be in public school. Don't say I cannot pay, I cannot do. You could do if you want to. Don't think about education. Hashem gonna give the parnasa. Hashem does everything. Not everybody by doing in education they are doing money good. We have to follow the Torah. There's no other thing. And before the Geulah gonna come closer, you should know that. I don't want to make you feel scared or whatever. Maybe R.Shalom gonna say something about it, but you should know. Following Torah is the following in the right way. That's gonna hold you to stay alive in this world and also world to come. Few bruchim.
Erev Tov. I want to say that our shiur tonight, Wednesday night shiur as usual, is la'atzlachat every donor to Gabriel Chai Ben Leah, Yosef Ben Rosa, Bezrat Hashem שיקימו בית נועם בישראל, דניאל בן אליהו, שיהיה לו רפואה שלמה כל הזמן, שיזכה לקום על רגלו כל הזמן, שיהיה לו רפואה שלמה בכל מכל כל. To everyone, ברכה והצלחה. But especially tonight, I want to say special mazal tov to our dear friend and member Daniel Ben Binyamin. He did not one but two chalakes tonight. He gave a haircut to both his 3-year-old children, twins. May you see many, many more brachot from them especially. And we only see atzlacha. Many people ask, what is this chalake? What is this upsharing? Ashkenazim call it upsharing. I don't know what that means. Me too. So don't look at me like that. We Sfaradim, we call it chalake. What's chalake? The word chalak in the Torah first time comes when Yaakov Avinu is told by his mother Rivka, go and take the blessings from your father Yitzchak. So the Yaakov tells his mother, Ima, Rivka, my brother is Ish Sa'ir. What's Ish Sa'ir? He's hairy. Va'anochi, but me, Ish Halak. How you say Halak? I'm glatt. I'm smooth. I'm smooth. We only find one other time in the Torah that we use the word Halak. When is that? In kosher food. Kosher food, we use Halak. The re'ot, the lungs of the animal have to be Halak. When we give the haircut to the child at the age of 3, we symbolize that he's turning from Ish Sa'ir. What's Ish Sa'ir? From Esav. And what is he turning into? Yaakov. Why the age of 3? Every time a woman gives birth to a child, especially if it's a baby boy, the child goes through a process of gadlut. What's gadlut? When he's born, of every person is born with the Yetzer Hara, as we all know, till the age of 13, all he has is Yetzer Hara. But till the age of 3, as every parent knows, there is no such a kind of thing, almost, there is Yotzei Min HaKlal. As a child, that has the ability not just to understand, but to give in like an adult. Till the age of 3, it's void, it's null and void. Till the age of 3, he's mamash total Yetzer Hara. And the Gemara says there are 3 things that have something in common. A woman, a Yetzer Hara, and a child. What's the 3 things they have in common? Ish Sa'ir. What's Ish Sa'ir? They all have long hair. A child till the age of 3 needs his hair. Why does he need his hair? For his process of growth. Rav Yaakov Hillel in his book Vayeshev Hayam says that the minhag of the Sfaradim is not just a regular minhag. Rav Ovadia Yosef Zecher Livracha, he wouldn't miss one minhag in his house, and he would take this minhag very seriously. When a child turns the age of 3 years old, you have to give him a haircut. Till that age, he is in a status of total satan. What's that mean, total satan? He's in the status of klipa. From the age of 3 and on, he's already starting his status of gadlut. He's already working into achieving his Yetzer HaTov. From the age of 3, children could learn what it means to share already. Before that age, they don't know what that means. They don't know what it means to give in. When the age of 3 begins, they already start an age of growth. Every minhag that we have in Judaism is based on something. And this minhag is very special. We're graduating from Esav, our brother, into who? Yaakov. Now the question is, once he starts this status, this growth into Yaakov, how does he become a Yaakov? How do we grow kids into becoming Yaakov? We want a Yaakov, right? We don't want an Esav. We want Ishtav Yoshev Oalim. Person who's a Talmid Chacham, who knows what's Shabbat, what's mitzvot, who has emunah, who keeps mitzvot, who knows how to make parnasa nikiyah, not a parnasa shel gazlanim. How does a person raise a child in our society when almost everything today is nut, arayot, shpichut damim, gilui arayot, the trifecta? How do we raise a child into becoming into a Yaakov? Rashi, Rabbeinu Shlomo Yitzchaki, brings us a very, very interesting pasuk. He says in Parshat Ha'azinu, where Moshe Rabbeinu, right before his death, he sings a song to the Jews. Do you imagine 120 years old? What does he begin to do? He starts to sing a song. Ha'azinu is a song, like Azesher Moshe. It's a song. There's a pasuk inside that song. It's a very interesting pasuk. He starts to give rebuke to the Jews. And he says, Hale Hashem tigmelu zot. How could you act like that to Hashem? Halo hu avicha kanecha. He is God, the one who acquired you. God has 3 acquisitions in this world. Avraham Avinu, he acquired. Bnei Israel, in the Torah. There's 3 things that's God's. God only owns 3 things in this world. The Gemara says, Avraham Avinu he owns. Bnei Israel he owns in the Torah. That's it. So Hashem says, the Gemara says, Avraham, Bnei Israel, in the Torah. So Moshe says to the Jews, how could you revolt against God? He is God. He acquired you. You belong to Hashem. He is your father. He made you. And then he says a very interesting word that we almost don't find that anywhere in the Torah. Vayechonenecha. What's vayechonenecha? Rashi on the point over there says, what's vayechonenecha? Rashi says, he took you from a nobody, from slaves, and he made from you Kohanim, he made from you Leviim, Israelim, Nivi'im. He turned you into prophets. He turned you into Nizirim. You know what Nizirim is? For a lack of the right word, it's in English you say a monk. But the Kritmach monks, they shave their head bald. Our monks, they grow their hair long. He made you into a Nazir. He made you into Melachim. Prophets, kings, Nazirim, where are they today? Could we reach that level of Nazir? We can't become a Nazir today. If a person says, I'm a Nazir, for example, he has to be a Nazir till the time of the Beit HaMikdash. He can't bring a Korban to an end. He has to grow his hair forever. He can't drink wine forever. Bukharians, that's a total no-no, because without alcohol, you cannot live. Gruzinim, forget about it. So it says over here, how are you able to reach the status of a child that is worthy to be an acquisition of God? I want a child that's worthy to be a Navi. Can I be a Navi? Could your children be a Navi?
Yeah, potentially.
So technically, but you
Not now.
is it something that becomes by itself?
No, it's a
work
gift.
on
Do you work on it?
Come
You know,
on.
like the society, nature versus nurture. Is it nurture? Can I really teach my child to be such a tzaddik? I myself am not like that. How can I give you something that I'm not? Or is it a zchut? Where biology ends, emunah begins. Where emunah ends, zchut begins. Merit, zchut avot. You need zchut avot. You know, Rashi, the great Rashi. You open any Gemara, what do you see there? Rashi. You open Chumash, what do you see there? Rashi. Where? Rashi. How did he become, you know what Rashi stands for? Rabban Shel Yisrael. The rabbi of all Israel. There's no child, you would take a kid age 4 years old, what does he learn first? Rashi. Take a guy 120 years old. The last thing he learns in his life is what? Rashi.
The cheapest one is Rashi.
That means when a child learns at the age of 4, the 120-year-old man is still learning. How did he get this status? How did he become Rashi? His father, Rabbi Yitzhak, was an Am Haaretz. You know that?
No way.
Yeah, he was an Am Haaretz. He was a diamond seller. He used to sell, there was no 47th Street back then. He was in France. And he had a very, very rare sapphire. And he was on a ship. You know, the Gemara says, bracha doesn't rest unless it's something that's covered from the eye. There's an old saying of the Bukharians, don't count your money outside. So he didn't know the saying of the Bukharians, obviously. So he took the Ya'alom, and he was on a ship. And he was looking at it. You know, sometimes when you enjoy something, like kids, they collect cards just out of enjoyment. They suddenly take out the cards and they look at it, they enjoy it, you know? Whatever the toy is. So he took out the diamond by the sun. And he started to look at it. It was so bright. It lit up the whole ship. And on that ship was a priest, the bishop of the king of Germany. The emperor of the Rhineland. And he had an idol of JC, Yamach Shemo, and he was missing the same exact sapphire for one of the eyes. And the priest, the bishop, comes to him and he says to him, I'll give you anything you want. Give me that sapphire. What did Rabbi Yitzchak do? He didn't think twice. There was no back and forth in his mind. He took the sapphire, he's like, oops! And he threw it into the sea. Hundreds of thousands of dollars into the sea.
So
Gone for life.
So
We're not gonna go now run into the ocean over there, Titanic right now, find the jewel. Finished, gone.
So that's the school that he got.
Hashem said, you let go of this diamond, this jewel. I'm gonna give you a son that's gonna light up the whole world. Now the question is, where did his father, don't just ask how did Rashi was born? How did his father have the ability, without thinking twice, to take that jewel and throw it over the ship? How did he get that power? That's the story people don't know. The story I just said, people know that story. The story I'm about to say, nobody knows. His grandfather, Rashi's grandfather, was a shamash in the Bet Knesset. He was a gabbai. He had a very long beard. Very, very long beard. And he used to wait till everybody, he didn't know Aleph Bet. But he used to love the shul so much. Why? We have a mitzvah in the Torah. Umigdashi tira. We have a mitzvah in the Torah. Every time before you go to shul, you have to stop by the door. And you have to say, Va'ani berov chazdecha, avo betecha, ishtachave, you have to bow a bit. Elechal kashecha biratecha. There's a specific mitzvah, umigdashi tirao. Before you walk into a shul, you have to feel afraid a bit. Before you walk inside. He used to love this mitzvah so much. When everybody used to leave, he used to take his beard, he had a long beard, and he used to scrub the Aron Kodesh with it. He used to say, I can't learn you, but I wish I could. I do whatever I can, like Yoshua bin Nun. Such sacrifice, to put himself down like a midbar in front of Hashem. Hashem says, I'm going to give you a son that's going to be able to not think twice. If he has a test in Emunah, there's no test for him. He takes the diamond, throws into the water. Hashem says, your son did it already 3 generations. You have 3 generations, what happens? The Torah goes back. He gave him a son like Rashi. Who's Rashi? He's the grandfather of the Tosfot. the grandfather of Tosfot. You know what the Tosfot is? There was no Tosfot, we would have no Rishonim. There would be no Rosh. We would have no Rosh, we would have no Shulchan Aruch. There would be no Shulchan. That means whatever Rashi did, whatever his father's sacrifice was, made him have a son like that. Why? Not because he was a big Talmid Chacham, not because he was Rosh Yeshiva, not because he was a Baal Tshuva. He was a man of principle. And that's the biggest difference between two Jews. You have a Jew that what he does whatever is comfortable for him. I come to shul when it's comfortable for me. I pray when it's comfortable for me. I'll put on tefillin, but only when it's comfortable for me in my break. Then you have a Jew that's a man of principle. Hashem says it's a mitzvah to put it in the morning. Yiraucha im shamesh. You have to see him with the sun. I put it in the morning. I'm going to be late to work. No, it doesn't matter. I'm a man of principle. Rashi's father was a man of principle. I want to read you something from the Pele Yoetz. You guys want to have good kids? Pele Yoetz was Rabbi Eliezer Papo. He's buried in Bulgaria. He was such a big tzaddik till today. You guys know Rav Yoshiao Pinto?
Yeah,
Rav Pinto,
yeah.
the famous Rav Pinto.
Yeah.
That LeBron James came to have a meeting with him. Yeah, right. Rav
Yeah.
Yoshiao Pinto. Every year on the yard side of Rav Papo, he goes to takes a private plane.
Aw.
I like that, obviously. And he goes all the way to Bulgaria with we went to Ukraine with 14 guys. He goes with 40, 50, 100 people.
100 people.
He goes to Bulgaria and he makes a whole Hilula over there. I'm going to read you his words. He was a very big psak halacha. In psak halacha, he was a very big moral ora'ah. Tzaddik Yesod Olam. Passed away about 300-400 years ago. Yeah. He writes like this, Rabbi Eliezer Papo. And I wrote this down because when I was preparing this shiur, what's his name? Daniel said, Shalom, could you please give us something, since it's a children's thing over here, like for 3-year, give us something on raising children. And I read this thing. I don't know how I got to this book. And I thought to myself, I have to write this down and tell it to you guys word by word, because I can't say it better. He writes like this: Mi sherotze liskot et banav lekitra shel Torah. You want to have sons that not just have Torah, who wear the crown of Torah. You know what it means to wear the crown of Torah? He is the entity of Torah. You want to have kids like that, he says? Tzarich, you must, you need. Lehishtadel alehem min ha'herayon. Not from when they're born. Already from conception you have to start. From conception. You know what it means from conception? Your wife gets pregnant. How? 40 days? I can't tell. But Papa says no. Already from the time, you have to already start. 40 days, not 40 days. You have to already have to start praying. What does that mean? V'od lifnei ken. You think you have to start from conception? Forget about it. From tachat your chuppah you have to start. You're under your chuppah, you only have to pray for one thing in your life. To have good kids. That's it. And he continues. Not vitpalelu, he says. Don't pray, he says. Vayitz'aku. You have to cry out to Hashem. Day and night, he writes over here. Laila vayom. La'avinu shebashamayim, to the Father in heaven. She'iten lahem zera kodesh. You should give you a holy seed. What does it mean, a holy seed? Every man and every drop that he gives, it's millions of cells over there. Millions of potential children. How does Hashem choose the specific one out of all? How does Hashem make you the strongest swimmer, basically? The Michael Phelps over there. How does Hashem make? You need a zechut. Hashem picks which one? You have to pray to Hashem. The one Hashem picks should be which one? The holiest one. Why? Because in the beginning, when you're with your wife, says Rav Eliezer Papo, what happens? You have a lot of Satan inside of you. You have a lot of Yetzer Hara. You have a lot of fire burning inside of you. What? So that part that comes out in the beginning is what? It's not Kodesh. At the end, you already want to get off. So that's also not Kodesh. Hashem has to pick the specific Zera Kodesh to make your children the most Kadosh. And he writes over here, Zera Anashim, you have to pray for, not for just Zera Kodesh. It should be Zera Anashim. Why? Chas Shalom, they were tzaddikim, they grew up 10, 15 years old, then they went to Olam Haba. We don't want those either. We want to see their wedding, we want to see their bar mitzvah, we want to see everything. We want to see their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren. We want to see everything. Zera Shelemim. Sometimes Hashem gives parents children that are tzaddikim, but what? There could be with Down syndrome. They could be with many kinds of what? But they're tzaddikim. They're gilgulim tzaddikim. No, Hashem, we want yeladim shelemim. We want full, complete children. V'chachamim. What's chachamim? We want kids who are smart. We want kids that we can say, this is my child. This is my kid. And he writes over here something very beautiful. V'yitpalel Hashem tamid. How long do I have to pray for? You have to pray all the time. Kodem Miriam, before she gets pregnant, after she gives birth, achar haleda, velo tifsoka tefillah. You should never stop praying. They're 3 years old, they're 4 years old, they're 5 years old, they're 10. They could be 50 years old. Never stop praying for them.
Do you mean by Amidah or just praying?
All the time. You're walking to the train. You're on the train. You're coming home from work. You're on the way to Popeyes. I'm kidding. You're going back and forth. You always have to pray for them. I have nothing to do. What does your mind go when you're not thinking about anything? You think about the shtuyot. I don't like to say what shtuyot means. You understand? Instead of thinking of shtuyot, use those moments to pray, says Rabbi Eliezer Papo. And then he gives you a sigula. I want a sigula. What can I do to make my kids tzaddikim? Rabbi Eliezer Papo says, Bala chesed la'alafim, one of the biggest halachic works. He writes like this. You have to give v'yichalku ma'ot le'talmidei chachamim. Give money to talmidei chachamim. V'yivakshu mehem, and ask from them. She'itpalelu al zar'ah, they should pray for your children. U'bizchut harayon yishtadel ha'isha lishmo kol Torah. During when she's pregnant, when a woman is pregnant, she should try with all her might not to listen to Z100. Not to listen to 102.7 Light FM. What should she listen to in the car?
Ramzrahi.
Not. Let's not get specific over here. Divrei Torah. That's it. Divrei Torah. It could be a beautiful song. It could be a beautiful song. You understand? We're not trying to get to this. It could be anything that's Divrei Torah. Anything that has Kedusha inside of it. Listen. Let's not get, we're not trying to advertise anyone over here. V'ken achar haleda. After a woman gives birth, Yoshivu havlad. They should put the child bimkom Torah. Put him in the. I'm still quoting him. They should put the child in a place of Torah, like it says on Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hananiah. Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hananiah was a Tana. He was the Rebbe of Rabbi Akiva, one of the Rebbes. He said, "Mi amai lo nitzchani adam." Whenever I was in a halachic argument, I was in an argument with goyim. He used to go to the Caesar a lot to fight for the Jews. In his life, never in his life, somebody beat him in an argument. He always won. How did he get to that ability? So the Gemara says something very interesting. His mother, when she was pregnant, she didn't stay home on Shabbat. She would go from shul to shul to hear Amen Yesh Merabah, to hear the Kriyat Sefer Torah. The Gemara says when he was born, she didn't stop. She used to take his car seat to the Bet Knesset. Why? Actually, he should hear Baruchu et Hashem Mevorach. He should hear Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. When Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai, who had 5 main students from them the Torah came out, he looked at Rabbi Yehoshua and he said, Ashrei Yoladeto. What bracha did he give him? He said, blessed is he, blessed is she that gave birth to him. He didn't say, blessed are you. I mean, it's a blessing on him because blessed is the one that gave birth to you because you're a tzaddik. But who did he bless? He blessed his mother. If it wasn't for his mother, what would he be? Nothing. She went. She tried. And I say over here something very interesting. This is something very, very beautiful. Also he writes. He says over here, Kvar hiskiru ba'alei musar. Don't sing to your children non-Jewish songs. Don't sing to your children, he writes here, Shirei Agavim. Don't sing them love songs of the non-Jews. You want to put them to sleep. And they have a nice tune over there. I'm going to change the words, make it a Jewish word, but the non-Jewish tune is over there. He says, be careful, don't do that. Why? Ki benefesh havlad hu chovel. It's like he took a knife and he scarred the baby's soul. When you sing to your child non-Jewish songs, it's like you took a knife and you gave him a small nick in his heart, in his soul, small nick. He's not going to be a Talmid Chacham already, unless he has a big schut. It says over here, many parents have this problem. We give up from our kids. We give up. Anachnu mityashim. We have a kid, he's in school, he's just not good at school. He's not good at math, he's not good at science, he's not good at Gemara, he's not good at Chumash. Well, he's going to be a barber, you told the Rebbe. What's the end of the world? Many rich people are barbers. Okay, he doesn't go to yeshiva. He doesn't go to this, he doesn't try there. He's gonna be a shoemaker. He's gonna be. Listen, it's a clean job. No, the Gemara says always learn a clean job. Rav Zilberstein says, Zehevel. It's nonsense. If you think you're gonna take your child out of yeshiva, you're not gonna send him to yeshiva. Why? He's gonna learn a trade. Okay, he's gonna be something at least. If I want to leave him in yeshiva, he's not gonna be smart, and he's also not gonna learn a trade. What am I gonna gain? Nothing. He's gonna be a bum. B-U-M, bum. Rav Zilberstein brings the name of Eliezer Papo. He says over here, Ze sheker v'chazav. You're lying to your own self. You're Ze hevel or ut ruach. It's hevel, it's nonsense, and the blasphemy of the soul. You're just saying it to calm yourself down. How many people out there don't know Hilchot Shabbat? How many kids out there don't know Aleph Bet? How many kids there don't know Kamatz and Patach? How many kids there doesn't know what a chirik is? How many kids don't know they have a bar mitzvah, they put on tefillin, and tefillin, where does it stay? In their drawer till in their drawer till they become 80, then they decide to have a second bar mitzvah. I testify, I went to Israel with my wife 5 years ago. And I was in a house of a guy who was a sailor in the Israeli army. And I was in his house. We let us stay in his house. He's already can't walk on his feet. He's an old guy. He's maybe 6'5", huge. He's at least 80 years old. Old. But since he's big, he has power. You know. And we're sitting on the chair in the table, and I'm usually a quiet guy, and you know, sometimes when I'm quiet, in the time when I speak, I wish I cut my tongue. And he's sitting on a table and he's talking. Like he's not so religious, but he knows what kosher that is. I obviously tried not to touch anything over there. And he said, oh, 5 years ago they gave some rich guy called Adelson, forget his first name, he was a very, very rich guy. Sheldon, whatever his name is, Adelson, whatever. They gave him a bar mitzvah, a second bar mitzvah at the age of 83. I didn't even say anything, I just started to laugh. I started to laugh. Something blew up in his head. He got so angry. What? He got a bar mitzvah at the age of 83? What do you think that's nothing? Blah, 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 blah. I learned when I was a kid, Abar Benel. For the next 10 minutes, all I heard was that word, Abar Benel, Abar Benel, Abar Benel. I'm like, oh my God. Why did I open my mouth for the love of God? I didn't even know if I just laughed. That's what happens, Shalom. Take your kid out of yeshiva. Yeah, he'll be a sailor, and I saw pictures. He had a medal from the prime minister back then, 6-day war, whatever. Very special. But trust me, when Hashem is going to see that medal after 120 years, he's going to say, Rahmat. But let's look at how you kept the Torah. Did you know how to read at least? Read! I see kids, I work in a yeshiva, see kids come from Forest Hills High School at the age of 15. They come 11th grade, 16. They don't want to learn already. They don't want to learn. Do you know how much we have to pamper them? You know what pamper means? You have to act like they're 3 years old. You're good, you're this, you're that. Just open your mouth, learn how to read Hebrew. There's one kid over there, I don't want to swear. This kid has a voice. He could be a singer. He memorizes songs, memorizes them, and he sings them. So beautiful. But he can't read Hebrew. I'm like, learn how to read. He doesn't want to learn. Doesn't want to learn. It doesn't go through my head. Another kid in my class, 10th grade. He says to me, Rabbi, I was in a restaurant the other day, Christina's. I don't know if he was saying the truth or not. I ordered the heart attack. That's what they call it over there. The heart attack. What is it? It's a sandwich, a burger. No, it's a foot long. Inside of there is grilled chicken. We counted how many laps he went over in class. He was grilled chicken, bacon, cheese, fries, lettuce.
Gives you a heart attack.
And it gives you that's why they call it the heart attack.
cholesterol.
So he tells me, Rabbi, how do I do tshuva for that? I asked him, you regret it? He's like, even if I tell him I'm gonna regret it, I guarantee you in 2 hours I'm gonna go again and have another one. I said, why?
He says, you know, I go out with my friends. Tell you the truth, Rabbi, if I didn't regret it, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I wouldn't be talking to you, but you know, I'm with my friends. I'm not gonna say no. They're all having a heart attack. I also want a heart attack. You know what I'm saying?
Get a stroke is better.
Yeah, in the brain. so he says, I'm gonna go against. Do you regret it? He says, no, I don't regret it. Tachlis, 90% don't regret, 10% regret. So you can't do teshuvah yet. Can I do teshuvah yet? He's laughing. Chinuch. When I spoke to his mother and parent teacher, he says, I only want one thing from my son. That he should have a parnasa and get married one day. That's it. He can do whatever else he wants. I said, did you ever think about who is he going to get married to? She said, I never gave it to him. I never gave it to him. As if you would have thought about that, your kid wouldn't be eating at Christina's and having a heart attack.
Parents themselves.
You understand what I'm saying? Google, I don't have Google on my phone, so knock yourself out. Now, many times we have a problem that our kids are not succeeding in school, and we ourselves say there's no use, let him be a dropout. You should know one thing. What do they call money in Hebrew? Zuzim. Zuzim. What does the word zuz mean?
Move.
It moves. Zaz. Money never stays in one place. It always goes from one bank account to another bank account. To be a businessman, you don't need a big brain. What do you need? Rockefeller once said, I wish I had 99% luck and 1% brains. And if you ask me the truth, this is the words of Rockefeller, I would take that 1% and trade it for 100% luck. To be a businessman, you need luck. You need mazal. To be a Talmid Chacham, you need a brain. There's for everything in the world you could trade. You could trade gold, silver, copper, everything, diamonds. There's one thing you can't trade in this world, a brain. Till today, they have Albert Einstein's brain in a museum. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
They took his brain out of the grave.
Yeah.
And they iced it. They think they could learn something from his brain.
Studying museum?
They study it, yeah, not usually in a lab. They study his brain like they're gonna get something. His brain is dead. It's a piece of meat. It's a piece of meat. You're not gonna get anything from that. It's finished. It's dead. The neshama is gone. That's what the goyim don't understand. But that's what they teach you, and that's what they teach the kids in the school. But if I'm gonna end in a positive note, there is hope. There is hope. To raise our children, of course. But the hope is not in the man's hands. Men are not mechanchim. We are not mechanchim. Says the Baalei Musar. Says the Baalei Musar. Beram tzarich ladad, one must know. Shele'imo shel habachur, to a kid's mother, vedafka, to the mother, only the mother. Yesh efsharut lesayea lo. Kid comes home, he's depressed. Why is a child depressed? The Mesilat Yesharim says, every Musar book you open, if I give you a small introduction, everything talks about what Gehinnom over there. And nobody learns those Musar books. Only one here and there. The most famous Musar book out there is Mesilat Yesharim, Path of the Just. If you open that book, the first sentence over there, one of the first sentences, God created man to enjoy. God created you to enjoy. What? He created all these enjoyable things. Well, you should be just like there on the wall, like a Persian rug. No, God created you to enjoy. And the greatest enjoyment one gets is from having a deep and complex relationship with someone else. That means if you would live alone in this world and you would have the most amazing enjoyments in this world, you would be depressed.
It's true, it's true.
Mesilat Yesharim said, the only way a person can enjoy this world is by creating a deep and complex relationship with someone else. If you don't have a relationship with someone else, even if you're a billionaire and you have 100% health, you can't enjoy this world. It's finished. That's why you see many rich people, they're depressed. Because they work like a dog, Their kids don't know them. Their wife are cheating on them. Who are they going to share their? What do they work for? So what do? They have a small chihuahua, and after whatever years they live, they donate all their money to their chihuahua.
For the cat.
Yeah, for the cat. Now, the greatest relationship Hashem says a person could have in this world is between a man and a wife. A man and a woman. That's why it's the first mitzvah in the world, in the Torah. The second greatest relationship you could have in this world to make you very happy, if you want to be happy, is between a parent and a child. A father and a son, a mother and a daughter, or vice versa, doesn't make a difference.
But isn't that first comes? Because you were born with the child.
You're born with?
You're born with the parents first.
That's true. Yeah, okay. But Adam R.Shalom was born, I'm saying from
Without the parents.
Yeah, from the parents. Now, when a child is born, he grows up. His parents is his idol. You might not realize it. I mean, whoever has little kids at home, the kids copy you in things you would never think they copy you. My kid copies me, my child copies me, in how I go to the bathroom. It's unbelievable. Mamash unbelievable. No, I don't take a newspaper with me. I take off my tzitzit. I try to train my son to wear his tzitzit. So every time he goes on his potty, he takes off. He says, "Take off my tzitzit," he says. Because every time he goes around, he says, "I take off my tzitzit." Because it's not a good thing to leave your tzitzit open in the bathroom. I don't know. How does a child, how does he realize such a thing? I wear my tefillin one day, at home one day. He comes to me one day, and he says, "Put on my tefillin." You don't realize how children, you're your child's idol. You're his God. Now what happens? Your child doesn't do good at school. He comes home, or he does something very bad in kindergarten, whatever, and the teacher gives a very bad feedback to the parent. And the parent gets very upset at the child. Punishes him very badly. Now your connection that you have with your child is like a spiral. A spiral. When you get upset at the child, he doesn't understand what it means to have a relationship. He just knows that he receives pleasure by it. You know what that means. You get angry, you fight. Like my father used to tell me, any house where the couple doesn't fight is a dead house. The couple must fight. The husband has to fight with the wife. Those kind of things, you don't fight. You must fight. If you're alive, you fight. If you're dead, then you're at peace. What do they write on your matzeva? You rest in peace. If you're alive, you fight because you're a man, you're a woman. You must fight. You're different species of being. You must fight. Now, if you fight all the time, it's a problem. You understand? But you have to have some negation of that. You're a plus, she's a minus. Now, the child doesn't know what that means to fight. He feels a certain negativity from the parent. Now, he's at the age where he could find his own pleasure. So what does he do? He feels like you cut off, you severed that relationship with him. So what does he do? He finds it somewhere else. He'll start to do something that gives him pleasure, but it's something that's prohibited. Like he'll start wearing jeans. He'll start wearing clothes that aren't so good with maybe some bad thing. Why? It makes him feel unique. It makes him feel special. So what does that do? That gives him pleasure.
Attention.
He gives him attention. Doesn't give him love. He wants love, really. But for him, pleasure and love is the same thing. Now what happens? He gets caught. Once he gets caught, what happens? The parent gets even angrier. Now the child thinks he's even farther from his father and mother. What does he do? Now he gets a bad haircut. He takes off his peot. He gets a fake. This is already the process of how kids go off the derech. This is how children go off the derech. Because a religious parent, he expects his kid to be Rav Ovadia Yosef. And until you don't realize that not everybody is meant to be Rav Ovadia, you're not going to raise healthy children. What happens? You get even more angry at him. He gets an F. The teacher calls. He's not paying attention in class. You get even more angry. Now it's not just a haircut. Now he starts to eat non-kosher food. The rush that it's asur it gives him pleasure. And suddenly the the spiral unravels till you realize that all he wants is a hug and a kiss and say, I love you. Now it's too late. What it took you 2 months to ruin, it's going to take you now 2 years to fix. Because it's always easier to destroy than to build. But whose hands is this all in? The Baal Haggadah Shel Pesach says it's all in the woman's hands. The woman is blessed with certain kishronot that could tell when a child is feeling off. This is where the mother comes into place. She has to be able to tell when the child is not feeling right. They say a story about Rav Shach. You know what Rav Shach is? The great Rav of Ponevezh Yeshiva, the great Rav Shach, the Rav of Ravs. How did he become Rav Shach? He was learning in Lithuania in Rav Isser Zalman Meltzer's yeshiva. It was World War II. There were bombs falling, bombs in Lithuania, bombs. Rav Isser Zalman said, guys, go home. Go home. You have nothing to do in yeshiva. They all go home. He didn't have money for the train or the bus, and there was no trains and buses. He was walking home. By the time he got home, maybe 50 miles, his shoes got all torn up. Not ripped, but torn. Basically, he needed a shoemaker. His mom said, what are you doing home? Because the rabbi sent me home, Mom. She said to him, tell me something. You call yourself a Talmid Chacham? This is what Rav Shach says himself. Because you call yourself a Talmid Chacham, the Torah says that it protects you. You coming home for protection? Go back to the yeshiva! She tells him, go back! He was a very good boy. What did he do? Went back 50 miles back. By the time he went back to the yeshiva, not only his shoes were ripped, his clothes were torn. He opens up the yeshiva's door, he sees Rosh Yeshiva that learning Daf Gemara. He says, what are you doing back? Because my mom told me to come back, so I came back. The Rosh Yeshiva was so... He was so, not just inspired, like he couldn't believe it. He said, do me a favor. Take off your shoes. I'm going to give you my shoes. Let's trade shoes. The boy didn't know what he wants. It's okay, it's a new pair of shoes. Give me your shoes. This rabbi, the boy who gave up the shoes, who did he end up becoming? Rav Shach. Who's Rav Shach? The Rav of all Lithuanian rabbis in Eretz Yisrael today. Tiltei Ponevezh Yeshiva. That's Rav Shach. And the rabbi who took it, he gave those shoes. He says these shoes is like a Sefer Torah. He put them in a box and he gave it to his son-in-law, Rav Aaron Kotler, who ended up becoming the great Rav of Lakewood Yeshiva. He gave it to his son, Rav Shneir Kotler, who ended up becoming also Rosh Yeshiva of Lakewood, the biggest yeshiva in America. Then he gave it to his son, the current Rosh Yeshiva of Lakewood, Rav Malkiel Kotler. And you know when they asked, he says, what made you guys become Lomdei Torah? Because when my father used to tell me the story of these shoes, I couldn't help but say, listen, the world forget about it. I'm here to learn Torah. I'm here to learn Torah. These shoes are my Sigula. They're my lucky shoes. Not Jordan, Nikes. No. These torn shoes that the boy listened. And where did it all come from? The mother. There was another rabbi, Rav Dov Cohen. In America he lived, in America. His oldest brother, one day came home from yeshiva, American yeshiva. His mom says, what are you doing home? He says, listen, I'm used to a nice warm bed. I'm used to hot tea every morning. Omelets. I don't want to go back to yeshiva. The mom didn't say anything. She let the boy stay home. You don't want to go to yeshiva? Stay home. When her second son grew up, Rav Dov, she took him. She bought a plane ticket to Israel. She took him not to Yerushalayim. She took him to Hebron. You know what Hebron is? Where all the savages are. She opened up the door to Yeshiva. He was 13 years old. She opened up the door to the yeshiva of Hebron. She said to him, to the Rosh Yeshiva, take my son as a Talmid. He says, what are you talking about? Your boy's 13 years old. Over here we accept from 16 and up. And the boy doesn't even know one word in Hebrew. She got on her knees in the middle of the yeshiva, in the middle of Seder Aleph. She started to cry. She said, his brother had the chance to come back home. I never send him back to yeshiva. Him, I want to make sure he never comes back home. He stays in yeshiva, he stays here forever. Who did he end up becoming? Rav Shel Chevron, Rav Dovko. He says, whatever, when I saw my mother cry like that, that took me all the way here to learn Torah, I said to myself, I never ever leave yeshiva. Rav Isser Zalman Meltzer, the rabbi who took the shoes, you know how he became Rav Isser Zalman Meltzer? His mother, again, not father, mother, when he wanted to go to yeshiva back then, she went to all the Lithuanian yeshivas. She went to check which yeshiva is good. At the end, she picked Volozhin yeshiva. And her husband asked her, why this yeshiva personally? She said, the Volozhin one. She said, because the benches over there are very thin. So if he falls asleep, he'll wake up right away. Over there, he's going to be a Talmid Chacham. Nowhere else is going to be a Talmid Chacham. See, we have a problem. Our kids misbehave. What do? Why do we take our kids' side? That's the knockout of our generation. You have to understand. Without sacrifice, children will never be big. They'll never be somebody. They'll be average. You want average or you want Talmid Chacham? Rabbi Nachman ben Rabbi Yitzchak, his mother, one day a full bean, a machshefa came to her. She said to her, your son that's born, he's going to be a thief. I see in the stars. He's born under the star of the thief. So what did she do? The mom, not the father, the mom. She took a kippah. She took it, the little children, you have to tie their hats. She said, you going to be 5 years old, 10 years old, 13, 15, you're always going to tie your kippah to your head. The boy said, Ima, I look like a freak. You're going to be sending me to yeshiva with a buck. He said, listen, it says in the Torah, one of the 10 commandments, respect your father and mother. Don't ever open up the ribbon. He said, okay, one day, it was a very, very big air, and he was learning under the tree, and it flew off. Suddenly, inside of him came such a big satan. He looked up into the tree, he saw te'ena, a fig, 12 years old. Amorah, he's going to be the biggest Amorah one day. Suddenly he gets such a big satan. He starts to climb the tree with his bare hand. He's about to fall off the tree. He takes his teeth and he sinks it into the tree just to steal that fig. Then he sees his kippah on the floor. He says to himself, it's not for my mother's kippah that's always on my head. Today I would be the biggest shovav, the biggest thief. Why do we put kippahs on the child's head? One of the reasons why we give a kid at the age of 3 a haircut? Right away we start to cut off his satan. Right away he has a small hair. Right away put the kippah on his head. Don't wait. Right away kippah on the head. The kippah is a meaning. What does it mean? Somebody's always on top of you. The big rabbis used to wear 2 hats. Why?
Double.
In case I forget one of them, the second one is on top of me. And all these stories is who? Not the Abba. It's the Ima.
So why they're not here?
They're here. You're going to hear it. But the Ima, where does she learn it from?
From Abba.
From Abba. The Abba, which is the mirror, is going to be at home like a Satan. Like I come to some homes, 30, 25 inch screen, HD TV, all this stuff. You come to the house, what do you see? Straight Avodah Zarah. If you have a nice bookshelf, son wakes up every day, daughter wakes up, what does she see? Torah. What is the main focus of the house? Torah. But if it's gonna be HD TV, like my brother showed me a video. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Not that I know what these stuff are, I just know Eagles and the
Super Bowl?
The Patriots.
They had a Super Bowl?
That's what they say.
The
It was a big plate. Not a Super Bowl, but a big plate. So there was two African Americans. He took his whole bathtub in the toilet. He took Doritos. Spicy Doritos. He filled up his whole toilet with the... Why did he pick the toilet? I don't know. He picked up he filled it up all with Doritos. He sits on his inside the bathtub, and it's like water, but it's really Doritos. It's like a bath of Doritos. And he takes a cup, he smashes the Doritos, makes a juice out of it, and he says, I told you the Eagles gonna win! I told you How many times he said it? 5 minutes, the whole video. I told you the Eagles are gonna win! And the toilet, where you go to the bathroom, Doritos. The sink, Doritos, everything Doritos. I swore that when the Eagles are gonna win, I'm gonna eat Doritos! My whole bathroom is gonna be full of Doritos. But that's what if you send your kid to public school, if you don't give the right training, that's what's gonna happen. What do the Goyim wait for every year? Not New Year's. You know what they wait for? The Super Bowl. If that's the focal point of their life, that 25, 30-inch screen HD TV, that's what's gonna become of them.
The religious people also watch.
Yes, but they didn't get to the level of the Doritos yet.
So thank
That's
God.
already the next level.
I
told you the Eagles are gonna win.
It's Bamba.
Here, we'll tell you, there's many things we can say about this, but unfortunately we have to end over here. May Hashem bless us with בנים צדיקים, חסידים, שלמים. זה לקודש, ברוך ה' לעולם. אמן ואמן.